Hey guys, Mark here. I hope you're all doing well. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make a fairly simple jump rope. Now, skipping rope is an excellent activity for losing weight as well as getting some cardio. After a few years of basically living a bit more of a sedentary lifestyle, I'm going to get back into some sports just to improve the quality of my life. So, by starting that process, I needed a jump rope. This was a project that was both practical for me, and I hope that it also brings some value to you. Making your own jump rope is excellent practice in your knotting skills, as well as gives you a practical item that you can then use. Use it early in the morning to wake up or through the day to get into better shape. With that said, let's get started. Now typically you will want to stand at about the middle of your jump rope like this, and then have about as much length so that you can have your arms at about a 90-degree angle. So you should have this length up to the handles plus 2.5 feet for each of the handles. So this is about the ideal length of rope that you should be using. So the length up to here plus 2.5 feet for each of the handles. So to start off, I took my rope, which is a 1/4 inch hemp rope. What I'm going to do is unravel about 2.5 feet of it, which I'm going to use for a handle on one side, so measure out 2.5 feet. Then unravel your rope all the way to this point. So you start at the end and basically just loosen up the rope in order to unravel it. So after unraveling our rope, what we're going to do is tie a simple crown knot in order to prevent it from unraveling any further. So we're going to take one of the strands, place it counterclockwise over the next one, then take the next one, travel counterclockwise over the next one, and finally, with the last one, travel through the loop created by the first of the strands. Pull on each of the strands in order to tighten up the crown knot. Like this. After tying the crown knot, we're going to continue by forming the handle. Now the next step is completely optional. We're going to use this part here as the core for our handle. Because of this, it is a good idea to stiffen it up a bit. You can use duct tape or a whipping in order to stiffen the core up. If you don't do this, your handle is going to be a bit loose. Now, if you don't mind this, you can skip this step. But if you want to stiffen up the core, what you can do is either tightly wrap it using duct tape, or you can do a common whipping. I'm going to show you how to do the whipping since I like this method best. In order to stiffen up this handle, I'm going to take a piece of thread and I'm going to use it to make a common whipping. I'm going to fold my thread like this and I'm going to take the bite here and place it right next to my crown knot. I'm going to place the thread alongside the entire length for my handle, plus a bit extra in the end. I will need this end at the end when I'm finishing up my whipping. I'm going to take the other end, which is a bit longer, and I'm going to start wrapping it around and around my core from right to left. So what I'm doing is running around my rope and tightly whipping it. Now you will want to do this whipping tightly in order to stiffen up the core for your handle as much as you can. So after doing my whipping for a while, I only have a small loop remaining here at the end. I'm going to take the end that I used to wrap around. I'm going to go through this loop like this. And then I'm going to use this end in order to pull the left end to about the center of my whipping. Now, at the start, I mentioned that you need a bit of length in this end, and this is so that you can basically either wrap around or use the marlinspike hitch in order to attach this strand onto an object in order to help you pull in the left end. After strengthening the core for my handle, I'm going to tie a double foot rope knot. Now this is optional and you can skip it, but it does give your handle a bit more of a bulky look at the ends. So it is a personal preference and I like it. But you can skip to the main technique if you want to skip these two. Now, to tie a double foot rope knot, we first tie a crown knot. So I have my core facing up, and I'm going to take this strand, well, any strand will do, and travel counterclockwise over the next strand. Take the next strand, travel counterclockwise over the next strand. Take the last of the strands and travel into the loop created by the first strand. After tightening up, you should get a crown knot. So like this, a crown knot. I'm now going to pick up one of the strands. Let's say this one. I'm going to travel counterclockwise again, under the next strand, and up. So immediately after traveling under the next strand, I go up, basically creating two parallel strands here. Then I'm going to pick up the next strand, go under the third strand, and again up. Again, creating two parallel strands here. Then I'm going to take the last of the strands and I'm going to basically travel over two, so over the strand that I just used and the one that's going parallel, then under and up, here. Now, if you've done this correctly, you should again have a set of parallel strands, so the working end and the strand that's going parallel to it. Now I'm going to basically take each of the strands and travel up top, going parallel to the strand that's going next to it. So I'm going to go over the top and through here. Then take the next strand and again, parallel to this one, through here. And the last of the strands, again through the top, going under two. So the top has all of its strands doubled. Now we're going to pick up one of the strands. We're going to go over these two, effectively doubling up this bottom strand here. Then we're going to travel straight up through the knot. Like this. And as you can see, this doubles up this bottom strand here. Take the next of the strands, travel over two to double up this bottom strand, then immediately up and through the middle. And the last strand, again over two to double up this bottom strand, then up and through the middle. We're now going to tighten up this knot, then do the main part of the handle. So at this point, after tightening my foot rope knot, we're going to transition into the main technique. All we're going to do is tie a crown knot, tighten it up, then line up the next crown knot. So I take one of the strands, travel counterclockwise over the next one, then take the next one, travel counterclockwise over the next strand, and then with my final strand, I'm going to pass into the loop created by the first strand. Like this. All I do now is tighten up. You will want to tighten up firmly, especially the first crown knot. So do make sure to pull on each of the strands as much as you can. After this, take one of the strands, travel counterclockwise over the next strand, then with the next strand, again counterclockwise over the next strand, and with the last one, again into the loop created by the first strand. Tighten up. And you have a second crown knot. We're going to continue lining up crown knots until we get a length for our handle that we would like. We're going to need about half a foot for our last double foot rope knot. So do make sure that you leave at least half a foot in your strands before finishing. After doing the length for our handle, we're going to continue with another foot rope knot. So to start off, we're going to tie a crown knot. So after tying the crown knot, we're going to pick up one of the strands, travel counterclockwise under the next strand and up. And as before, we again make a set of parallel strands. Then we take the next strand, travel under the next strand in the counterclockwise direction, and up. Again making a set of parallel strands. Then we take the last of the strands, we travel over 2, then under 1 and up, again making a set of parallel strands. Now we're going to pick up one of the strands and we're going to go parallel to the strand to its right, over the top, and under 1, like this. Then take the next strand, and again double up the strand on its right, like this, and then the final strand again travels over the top, under 2, doubling up the strand on its right. So at this point we have doubled up the strands at the top, and we're now going to do the strands here at the bottom, doubling up this bottom section. So at this point, we're going to pick up one of the strands, and we're going to travel over 2, then directly up and through the knot. Like this. Essentially doubling up this bottom strand. Take the next strand, again travel over 2, then up and through the middle. And finally the last strand, over 2, then up and through the middle. Then all you need to do is retighten the knot and trim the ends. At that point your handle is complete. So after doing a handle, make one on the other side exactly the same way, and with that your rope jump rope is complete. Guys, thank you for joining me in this tutorial. I hope that it was informative as well as practical. See ya next time.